Survival isn't just about strength or endurance. It's about willpower, quick thinking, and sheer determination. In this video, we're diving into 5 of the scariest true survival stories. From being stranded in the Andes to battling a grizzly bear, these tales remind us of the unyielding human spirit in the face of death. Grab your seat, because these stories are not for the faint-hearted. Picture this: October 13th, 1972. You're on a chartered flight, soaring over the mighty Andes Mountains. It's a rugby team full of life on their way to a match. But the mountains have other plans. The plane, buffeted by a furious storm, slams into a remote, unforgiving peak. The impact, the noise, it's deafening. Metal screams, luggage flies, and then silence. You look around, disoriented, injured, but alive. You've survived the crash, but you're at 12,000 feet, surrounded by the frozen jaws of the Andes. This, my friends, is where the real fight begins. 29 souls cling to life. The world, oblivious to their plight, seems a million miles away. The freezing winds bite, the altitude steals your breath, and your stomach growls with a hunger that bites deeper with every passing hour. Days melt into weeks. Hope, once a flickering flame, starts to dwindle. The biting cold claims some, their bodies succumbing to the unforgiving elements. The meager rations they salvaged from the wreckage dwindle to nothing. They face a choice no one should ever have to make. They are staring death in the face, and their only option for survival is to eat, to consume the flesh of their fallen comrades. A decision born of desperation, a pact forged in the shadow of death. It's a gruesome testament to their will to live. But survival takes more than just sustenance. It demands action, a refusal to surrender. 2 brave souls, Nando Parado and Roberto Canessa, step forward. Armed with a determination that burns brighter than the freezing sun, they embark on a suicide mission. The canyons of Utah, a breathtaking tapestry of rock and sky, hold a raw, untamed beauty. For Aaron Ralston, a seasoned climber drawn to the solitude of the wilderness, they were a sanctuary. But in April 2003, the unforgiving beauty of Blue John Canyon turned sinister. Aaron, ever the adventurer, set off on a solo climb, his spirit soaring with the hawks above. He was alone, his plans known to no one, a decision that would soon come back to haunt him. Deep within the narrow chasm of Blue John Canyon, fate took a cruel turn. An 800-pound boulder, dislodged by his own hand, shifted, pinning Aaron's arm against the canyon wall. The silence, once peaceful, transformed into a terrifying echo chamber of his own panicked breaths. Trapped, alone, facing his own mortality. Aaron was now locked in a deadly battle against nature, against time, against the limits of human endurance. Days bled into nights. The sun, a cruel reminder of the life he was fighting for, offered no escape from his stone prison. His meager supplies of food and water dwindled with each agonizing hour. Dehydration gnawed at him, turning his every thought into a desperate plea for moisture. The cold seeped into his bones, threatening to extinguish the fire of his will. But Aaron, fueled by an indomitable spirit, refused to surrender. He chipped away at the unforgiving rock with tools that seemed as inadequate as a child's toys. He explored every crack, every crevice, every impossible angle, searching for a way out. But the canyon held him fast. As his body weakened and hope began to flicker, Aaron was confronted with a horrific choice: amputate his own arm or die a slow, agonizing death. It was a decision that would forever change his life, a testament to the primal instinct to survive. Armed with a dull multi-tool, his heart pounding against his ribs like a war drum, Aaron did the unthinkable. He broke his own bones, the sound echoing through the canyon, a gruesome symphony of survival. Imagine, if you will, the vast emerald expanse of the Amazon rainforest. It's a world teeming with life, a symphony of buzzing insects, vibrant birds, and hidden dangers. Now picture yourself falling through that sky, plummeting towards the earth at an unimaginable speed. This, my friends, is the story of Juliane Kupke, a young woman who stared death in the face and emerged, against all odds, victorious. Christmas Eve, 1971. 17-year-old Juliane and her mother were flying over the Peruvian rainforest, their plane a tiny speck against the immensity of the jungle below. But what should have been a routine flight turned into a nightmare, a ferocious thunderstorm, a blinding flash of lightning, and then chaos. The plane, ripped apart by forces beyond human control, began to disintegrate mid-air. Julianne, still strapped to her seat, was flung into a free fall towards the unforgiving jungle below, 10,000 feet. Imagine the terror, the wind screaming past you, the ground rushing up to meet you. Miraculously, she survived the fall. The rainforest canopy, a tangled web of branches and leaves, cushioned her impact. She awoke, dazed and disoriented, but alive, alone, injured, but alive. But her fight for survival had just begun. The jungle, for all its beauty, is a merciless mistress. It's a world of stifling heat, relentless humidity, and creatures lurking in the shadows. Julianne, drawing on a strength she never knew she possessed, began to walk. She had only the clothes on her back, a small bag of candy, and the knowledge her zoologist parents had instilled in her. For 11 days, she battled. Hunger gnawed at her stomach, insects feasted on her exposed skin, and the jungle seemed determined to swallow her whole. But Julianne pressed on, driven by an iron will and the faint hope of finding civilization. She remembered her father's words, "Follow the water, it will lead you to life." The American frontier, a land of untamed wilderness, beckoned to the brave and the bold. Hugh Glass, a seasoned mountain man, a trapper, a true frontiersman, answered that call. But the wilderness, for all its allure, is a harsh mistress. And in 1823, she dealt Hugh Glass a hand that would test the very limits of human endurance. Picture this, the vast untamed wilderness of what is now South Dakota. The year is 1823. Hugh Glass, a seasoned member of a fur trading expedition, is out scouting, his rifle his only companion. The air is thick with the scent of pine and damp earth, the silence broken only by the sound of his own footsteps. Suddenly, a monstrous form explodes from the undergrowth. A grizzly bear, a force of nature fueled by primal rage, stands between Glass and survival. The attack is swift, brutal, merciless. Glass, caught off guard, fights back with every ounce of strength he possesses. But the bear, a whirlwind of claws and teeth, is relentless. He's mauled, his body torn and broken. His scalp hangs in bloody shreds, his leg is shattered, his ribs crack under the bear's weight. Left for dead by his companions, who believed his wounds to be mortal, Glass lay alone in the wilderness. The pain is unimaginable, his body a canvas of pain and suffering. But Hugh Glass is not a man to be broken by a bear, no matter how fearsome. The year is 1921. The place, the rugged, unforgiving mountains of West Virginia. The air crackles with tension, not from a coming storm, but from the simmering rage of men pushed to their breaking point. This, my friends, is not just a story of survival against nature, but a testament to the human spirit's fight against injustice. The Battle of Blair Mountain, a conflict etched in blood and coal dust, was a fight for workers' rights, a stand against oppression. Thousands of coal miners, their faces grimy with soot, their lungs heavy with coal dust, took up arms against the tyranny of the mine owners. They were fighting for fair wages, for safe working conditions, for the right to organize. They were fighting for their lives. But, in the chaos of battle, a small group of miners found themselves cut off from their comrades. They were trapped, hunted by the mine owners' private army, their backs against the wall of the Appalachian wilderness. With little food, dwindling ammunition, and the constant threat of enemy gunfire echoing through the valleys, their situation was beyond desperate. This wasn't just about dodging bullets anymore. It was about surviving the unforgiving wilderness that was now their only ally. The mountains, silent witnesses to their struggle, offered little comfort. The terrain was treacherous, the nights cold and unforgiving, and the constant fear of capture gnawed at their resolve. They were running on fumes in faith in each other, faith in their cause, and the faint hope of finding their way back to friendly lines. Food was scarce, forcing them to rely on their knowledge of edible plants and the meager rations they had managed to salvage. Hunger gnawed at their bellies, but it was the thirst that tormented them the most. They drank from streams, their water muddy and laced with the taste of fear. These 5 survival stories are more than just tales of courage. They're a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Whether trapped in the mountains, the jungle, or pinned under a boulder, these individuals faced death head-on and lived to tell the tale. What would you do in their shoes? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories of survival.